What is going on, guys? It's your boy Shady Mike Gaming, and today I wanted to take some time and talk about Game 1 of the NBA Finals. Wow, what a spectacular display from both teams, and what a weird game the way that things turned out. But I want to get right into it and share my thoughts, and want to talk about what are some takeaways we can learn from Game 1 of the NBA Finals. It's always said, right? The series doesn't start until the one team wins in somebody else's house, and it started. That means our series started off hot yesterday. The first thing I wanted to talk about was we were live tweeting the game on Twitter. Be sure to head over and follow me at ShadyMikeGaming on Twitter. Some people got a little bit mad, a little bit angry, because I was definitely leaning a little bit more heavily towards the Warriors, and that's okay. But I wanted to first talk a little bit about am I rooting for anyone? Whose side am I on? And I said it before the finals, and I'll say it again. It's, for me, it's really it's a win-win situation. I can't really lose in this situation. I do like the Warriors. I love Steph Curry. A big Steph Curry fan, and I gotta say this: the Philadelphia sports fan in me makes it very difficult to root for the Boston Celtics. But the Duke fan in me is ecstatic to see Jason Tatum on this stage, even though he didn't have the greatest game, and we will talk about that as well. But to see a team led by a Duke superstar, when for so long people have been saying what they've been saying about us not working out in the league, it's a great feeling to be able to see Boston prosper under Tatum's leadership. But we know that's a very well-rounded team, and if Tatum plays like he played last night, he definitely won't be touching that Finals MVP trophy if Boston does win. But I have the utmost confidence that Tatum is going to bounce back in the series. And with that being said, we'll talk about kind of some of the gameplay, right? Excuse me, some of the game, not gameplay, but I said that the takeaway of this series, right, is the infamous third quarter Warriors, right? We all know about the third quarter Warriors. I said, well, the third quarter Warriors just met the fourth quarter Boston Celtics, because in the fourth quarter, Boston did what Golden State is used to doing to teams in the third quarter. You look at Golden State, and I was just surprised. They blew both 11 and a 15-point lead. They were leading by double digits heading into the fourth. And really, the mantra of Golden State has always been, we're never out of a game because we can shoot ourselves back into it. And it's funny because Boston has kind of adopted that same strategy, where it's like, we're never out of a game because we can lock down on defense and keep ourselves in a game. And we saw, I think Boston ended the fourth quarter on a 17-0 run. We saw Boston just lock down Golden State, and then we saw them be able to hit shots on the other end. So the question is, and I think this is what we're all coming to, the question that we want answered is, you can look at this two ways, right? You can say, oh my goodness, is Golden State in trouble? Does Boston have the blueprint? If you're looking at it from that perspective, you can say, hey, Steph Curry went nuts in the first quarter. The Golden State was up double digits both times, and Boston was able to hang in there, come back, get great contribution from their role players, and Jason Tatum didn't have a good game. If you're a Boston fan, you got to be feeling good about that. That's one way that you can look at it. They weathered the storm of the third quarter Warriors and was able to still make just a devastating run in the fourth quarter of the game. Now, from the other side of the coin, I guess, if you're a Golden State fan or you're rooting for Golden State, you can still also try and take some good takeaways from that. Steph Curry got hot. He's performing well. You can definitely sit here and say, hey, Draymond Green did not have his best game. Klay Thompson did not have his best game. Jordan Poole was horrendous. You can argue that your Golden State role players or support players are not going to play as poorly as they did last night. You could also say that we had multiple Boston Celtics players have career nights. 26 points from Al Horford, 6 of 8 from 3. A dazzling performance from Jaylen Brown, which is definitely not news. He's a superstar. He's a star level player. But you look at I forget his first name, White. Is it Derek White off of the bench? I think he was like 5 of 8 from 3. He poured in 21 points. So no one was missing from Boston in the fourth quarter. I joked on Twitter and you all were laughing. I said it's like Boston turned the sliders up in the fourth quarter. So there's a couple of different ways we can look at it. I think there's optimism to be seen from both sides, but if you're Golden State, it's a tough pill to swallow to have given up that type of lead at this point in the finals. Like, we're in the finals now. You don't want to give up those types of leads. That just gives Boston a lot of momentum, obviously, with them having stealing that home court advantage. So my takeaway is this is going to be an interesting series. And one thing I wanted to talk about too, I know there was some discrepancy. I don't know if the word is discrepancy, but there were some arguments. We really don't like the referees playing a big part in the series. Even though I was rooting for the Warriors basically in the game, I didn't feel like the referees really dictated the outcome of this game. Now, what I will say, and this is my opinion, let me know in the comments if you share it. If you don't, that's perfectly okay. It doesn't have to be a beef. I'm not talking down on Boston, but I do sometimes feel like Boston uses its reputation as a quote unquote tough defensive team to get away with some overly physical play. Marcus Smart is very handsy. And he had a couple of really nice steals early. But he's very handsy, and I feel like sometimes they almost let him hand check on the perimeter. It's very interesting sometimes how the referees let Marcus Smart play defense, but and I felt like for him to be as physical as he was, I'm looking at the box score now, for him to only have one foul, that's just interesting to me. Not saying it's wrong. I'm just saying it's interesting. I know there was a call where there was back-to-back calls where Steph Curry actually went to the rim and looked like he was clearly fouled, one of them by Al Horford. And I thought that they could have called fouls there. They could have, they didn't. But by no means, if you're a Golden State fan, don't use that cop out. By no means were they robbed by the referees. We know how Boston plays. We've seen them against KD. We've seen them against Giannis. We've seen them against Jimmy Butler. So we know how they play. We know what they're bringing. It's time to man up, because it felt like the Boston may have been kind of sunning the Warriors and kind of really flexing their muscles on Golden State. I didn't want to end the video without talking on that, because I know we were getting started already. No, we're not doing that this series. We're not blaming refs. Golden State had every opportunity to win this game, and they didn't. So they're going to have to, really get into Boston and play some tougher basketball. And one more thing too, I felt like Golden State was just dribbling into the paint and passing out and dribbling into the paint and dribbling it back out. You're allowed to take a layup, right? Like, I know that you're a jump shooting team, but hey, every now and again, take a layup, because there were points in that time where I felt like Golden State kind of shot themselves out of the game. So with that being said, it's going to be interesting. I don't know if Boston's going to be able to shoot 51, I think it's 52% from three again. But at the same time, we know Jason Tatum after not having great game one, is going to try and come back and have a really strong game two. So that's just one man's thoughts on game one of the finals. This is going to be a fun one. We're going to be locked in. Stay tuned, y'all, for all of our videos coming up this weekend. We got a Jimmy Butler jump shot dropping. Got a lot of fun content coming for you all. But other than that, guys, it's your boy Shady Mike Gaming. I'm signing out. Peace. Threes.